Welcome back to Eastern Plains of Colorado, here on McCaffrey Farms. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Be sure to like the video if you enjoy it, and be sure to ring that bell icon so you're notified of my videos Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But let's get to today's video. We are going to take this tire off. I said we were going to do it a while ago, but we never got to it because we were trying to get the corn plane ready. But we're going to take that off, and we're going to put the two other points back on the drill, because down south all the fields we need to plant to milo are still a lot wetter. I think we got a little more moisture down there than we did here, so we might try and at least plant the circle of hay grazer here, and we'll see what the circle looks like. I think it's even close to planting. We might go get the tractor, unhook it real quick, come down or come back here, hook up to these. Then when we take that tire, we got seed from the co-op we take all of our grain to. When we come back, we'll grab that seed real quick, and that way if we can plant, we just gotta go get the tractor and we can get that planted. Probably end up being between today and tomorrow, just because it's already, well, what time is it? Already about 9 o'clock. So time we get this off and get it taken up there and get everything ready and greased, it'll be close to noon, I bet. But let's get to working on this tire. Dad's gonna get a couple boards because it's just soft enough that the jack was sinking in. But we've also ran into another little snack. The day we finished and got these back, a neighbor saw, and a couple days after that, he came by asking if we had much wheat left, and we told him there's some in the drills, and he said, oh, okay, well, we'll take it. And he said they'd come clean it out the next day, get the wheat. Either they forgot or they decided they didn't want it, because it's still on our drill. We thought they cleaned it out, so we gotta do that now. We got 30 bags of this Sudax premium forage. It's just a BMR hay grazer that we're gonna be putting on this circle. We're not gonna actually get to planting it today. It's still a touch too wet, but tomorrow it should be fine. But for now, we're just gonna work on getting the drills ready, where we gotta clean them out. Still got a few things that we need to do to them. Here in a little bit, we might go down, get the tractor and bring it back, and then we can get the drills hooked on and pulled up here once we get that tire put on, and we can start working on getting it cleaned up and getting it ready for tomorrow. I'm just getting back to the house. Still just have about a mile to go. We did go ahead and bring the planter home. We didn't really want to leave it unhooked at the field very long, so we don't really go any slower with it or anything, and it's not a hard implement to pull, so we're just gonna bring it home and unhook it here at home. And plus there's a few things we might try and do to it as sort of preventative maintenance. But about home, then when we get home, unhook this and then probably hook up to the drills. I think Dad put the wheel on because he just took off and went ahead of me. All right, and we have the drills hooked up, so we're just gonna pull them over there by the Dodge, and then we'll start cleaning everything out, greasing it up. Once we get it ready, we'll put the seed in it, and then we'll head over to the circle. That'll probably be tomorrow, but start getting it ready for getting this feed planted. So then hopefully tomorrow maybe we could do that real quick. We do have a little tote, well, big tote I guess, that has a little bit of weed in it already. It's just right back there, but we're gonna get that, and that's what we'll put this weed in. and then we'll figure out what to do with it after that. Luckily, there's not too terribly much wheat left in these. It is gonna be annoying. It's where I wish they would have let us know they didn't ever come get it, because now there's wheat that has been sprouting, because these don't seal up the best. So there's gonna be rotten wheat and sprouting wheat in there, and it's always a pain to get that stuff out, but it is what it is. We'll get to cleaning it, and maybe tomorrow if it doesn't rain tonight, we'll be able to drill that to feed. Welcome back. Working more on getting these drills cleaned out. This is the last one we have to do. Dad didn't quite get them all done. We're using the garden hose to spray it out with that rotten stuff. Yes, there's probably a better way to do it. This way works. It's easy. We'll just have to let that air dry while we do the other stuff. I'm sure these other ones are probably already dry, who knows. But there's a lot of dew. That could make work walking on this. Yeah, see, they're already fairly dry. There's still a few kernels. But this is why we wish they would have let us know that we still had wheat in our drills, is because when that wheat rots, it is very hard on the inside of those. We've always tried to be the best we could about getting them cleaned out. Sometimes we weren't the best either, but we had been getting better about it, so we kind of wish we would have known so that wouldn't happen. But it is what it is. We'll get this one cleaned out, work on the rest of it. Shouldn't take too long, and we should be drilling some feed here in a few hours. All right, and just like that, I've gotten it cleaned out pretty good. Still one or two more things we need to do, but I'm gonna back the drills up and probably pull them out more this way, because there's an absolutely horrible smell coming from under those drills, because that grain was sitting in there rotting for, would it be like 6 months or something? And we've actually gotten a decent amount of moisture, and those drills don't seal up very well, so there's a lot of rotten grain in them. Rotten grain smells absolutely disgusting, but let's get back to work. I got all of the hoses and seed cups cleaned out and put on, so I had to rob a few of these donuts off of our sweep. You just see it in between tractor and planter, but I had to rob a few of them off of that, and then there's a few more up in this drawer. These just help keep the drills from going in too deep. So that's how we set the depth, is we just adjust how many of those we put on. I'll put those back in that drawer under the seat in a little bit, but I believe we are ready to start putting seed in. And once we do that, I think we're good to take it down to the field and start getting everything set and seeing if everything's good. Might get to start drilling here next hour or so. I just went ahead and put 6 in each.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
And what is it? You're doing 12.5 pounds?
Just 12.
12? Okay, we got the drills down here in the circle. What Dad is doing right now is there's locks on these transport wheels to help keep them up, and then you have to lift the deals up and pull the actual lock itself back. But he's gonna go through and do that, and then once he gets that done, we're gonna drop these wheels down, and that's what actually lowers the drills to the ground. So we got all those tires lifted up and it's sitting down. So now we should be able to start letting that go down. And then we'll unhook from this hitch that we're hooked onto now. We'll hook up to that one, and then each of the 5 drill sections has a stop that you put in. So in that way, when you go down the road, they don't settle and start dragging. But now that we have that done, we'll go unhook it and hook back up to that hitch. Just unhooked from there, we're gonna hook up to there. However, there's a slight change of plans. Once we hook up to these, we're gonna flip them around, get them a little ways out of the field. Because between the time we looked at it yesterday and today, right now, there's already quite a bit of little grass that's came up. And we don't really wanna plant it with too much grass coming through. So we're gonna hook up to our field cultivator, get that ready real quick, and then we'll run over this once, and then that'll dry it out a touch more, because it is still a touch wet, but slight change of plans. It might be good for us to field cultivate it anyways, because it is still a little rough from the sweep. Our sweep, it does good, especially like where we subsoiled it, it didn't do the greatest. Field cultivator it does a pretty good job the few times we've used it, so it will make it a little bit smoother, but we're gonna work it at a slight angle from what we want to drill it, because when we drill it, we might just go back and forth, but I don't know exactly how we're gonna drill it, but we're gonna do it at a slight angle from the way we worked it with the sweep. And then once we get done, we'll hook back up to the drills and get this planted.